Amy, it's been so long. Congratulations on getting married.
Huh? Sorry, but who is this?
If I said I'm Robin, would you remember?
Really? You mean the woman who left my father and walked out 17 years ago?
That's right. I'm your mother. You were still just in elementary school back then. It takes me back.
What do you want? I don't know how you got my number either, but that's kind of creepy.
Don't worry about that. I managed to send you a message. So let's have a nice mother-daughter relationship from now on. To start off, I'll come live with you to celebrate your marriage.
Live together?
Your husband is the one from the big foreign investment company, isn't he? To lock down such a great catch. You really are my daughter. Anyway, from now on, since you're my daughter, I'd like you to look after your mother.
No way.
What? Why?
First of all, I don't understand anything that you've just said, and I barely even remember your face. You're basically a complete stranger to me. You stabbed my dad in the back and ran off with some other man. And now you just shamelessly reappear all of a sudden? That's a little too suspicious for me. Don't get ahead of yourself.
What? Amy, I'm your mother. How dare you speak to me like that? I still raised you for a few years. Surely there's some gratitude for that.
No way in hell there is.
What?
Leave me alone.
Oh, so that's the attitude you're gonna take? Well, here's something to think about. You've got no future except to live with and look after me from now on.
Hey, Amy, do you have some time right now?
Oh, Christy, hey, I was just about to message you.
It sounds like something happened. Was it Mom?
Yeah, today around lunchtime. I have no idea how she even got my number, but she messaged me on WhatsApp.
Damn it, I was too late.
Did something happen with you, too?
Yeah. Today while I was out of the house, Mom apparently snuck in.
Are you serious?
Grandma was home, so it's not like the house was completely empty. But right at that time, she was vacuuming the second floor and left the front door open. Then, Mom came in and looked through Grandma's phone, which was charging on the first floor. I bet that's when she got your number.
How do you know that she snuck in while you were out?
See, after Grandpa died, it's just been me and Grandma living there, right? When I'm out at work, I get a little worried about her. So we discussed it and installed a baby monitor in case anything happens. So everything Mom did got recorded on that.
I see. So she hasn't messaged you at all?
No, not yet. I don't really get why she messaged you instead of me, though.
About that, I think she's getting the two of us mixed up.
Mixing us up? How?
Well, when she messaged me today, she said a few things. She remembered that she divorced Dad and left us 17 years ago, but she also said that I was still in elementary school at the time, and I was supposed to have some gratitude towards her for the few years that she did bring me up. She also congratulated me on my marriage and asked to move in with me and support her financially. I really felt like she's planning something to get you to go live with her.
What the hell? After going through all the pain of childbirth, can someone really confuse their kids? But if she said all that, it really does look like she's mixed up both of our names. In any case, as if I'd ever live with and support that person.
I know, right? But you know what? I was thinking something.
What's that?
I wonder if we can use her own mistake against her and get her out of our lives for good.
Without correcting her mix-up?
See, if she's set on living together, that means that she doesn't fully understand our current situation.
Oh, I see.
So, while she's still trying to make her move, we don't correct her mix-up to buy ourselves some time, right?
That's it.
Well, it depends when she tries to contact us next, but we'll reveal it sooner or later.
But is that okay with you? It'll help me out a lot, but...
Don't worry, it's fine. If she thinks she's talking to you, that means that she won't contact me or Dad.
I guess so.
I'll take it from here. So for the meantime, you, Grandma, and your husband just should go about each day normally. Okay?
Got it. Thanks.
Amy, by the way, I just arrived at your new place.
What?
I waited for your new husband to get home, and the moment he unlocked the door, I stole the key, ran in, and locked him out of the house. Plan complete.
So basically, you're going to just be locked inside the house on your own.
Yep, I checked out the fridge and there's plenty of tasty-looking things for me to eat and drink. Today's the day I'll make you promise to let me live with you and for you to support me.
Aren't you ashamed to call yourself my mother?
Well, I am your mother, so there's nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't want to think of a woman who betrayed her own husband and was unfaithful as my mother. Can't you understand even something as obvious as that?
You're really gonna say something like that?
What do you mean?
I mean, come on. When I heard who your husband was, I was totally shocked.
Why?
Because you're hiding something from him, aren't you?
Hiding something?
Before you met your current husband, you had a relationship with a married man, right? Isn't it possible that you've still got something going on with him even now? And if your husband were to find out, he'd file for divorce, wouldn't he? If you don't want your husband finding out about your affair, you better do what I want.
Oh, that? You mean when I was tricked into thinking that the guy was single and we almost went on a date?
What? Almost went on a date?
Although that guy was a client at work, I guess he had a thing for me, and I felt like it might be okay for me to go out with him. But just as I was about to say okay to his invites, I found out that he was already engaged, and that's where it ended.
Huh? You were about to say okay to a date, but then changed your mind when you found out he was engaged?
Exactly. I have at least that much good sense.
Ha! What a waste.
Don't think I'm anything like you. I'm not just someone who can't tell the difference between random desires and real love.
Ch.
Hey, Amy. We're at JFK right now.
Oh, hey, Christy.
It's boarding time in 10 minutes, so I figured I'd send you a message before I had to turn off my phone.
You're with Grandma and your husband, right?
Of course.
I'm actually texting that woman right now.
Really? Right at this moment?
I know, right? I'm discussing the messages with Dad before I reply.
In that case.
Yeah, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to reveal her mistake to her.
Thanks for doing this for me. I know it must have been annoying.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
Same to you.
Hey,
Oh, I was wondering why you weren't replying.
the apartment that you took over? It's the one on the 5th floor of a building in the Bushwick, right?
Obviously. I saw you go in and out of this apartment, so there's no mistaking it. Since you're going out of your way to ask about your own apartment, that must mean that you're ready to live together.
Did you notice that that apartment is for 3 people?
What?
That's just a temporary place we were staying before moving into our new house.
What are you talking about? Temporary?
I haven't been living there for some time now.
What?
Since we moved out, we've just been staying in a hotel near the airport.
A hotel? Near the airport?
This morning, my older sister Christy linked up with our grandma, and just a few minutes ago, took off to live in a different country.
What? What do you mean moving to a different country? And what do you mean by your older sister, Christy?
Your eldest daughter, Christy.
What are you talking about? My oldest daughter is you, Amy.
I thought so. You mixed up our names.
I mixed them up?
Christy is your eldest daughter. I, Amy, am the second daughter. Basically, the one who married the member of the foreign investment company is Christy, not me.
That can't be. The one I've been messaging this whole time is the younger.
Yep, that's right. For your information, I'm still a high school student.
What? You're still in high school?
Well, to be fair, I did graduate just a few weeks ago. I was born right at the time that you cheated on and divorced Dad. So I'm sure if you do the math, you can figure out how old I am.
If that's the case, I'll have you support me instead of Christy.
What the hell?
You must still be living with your dad, right? In that case, we can get back together, all of us.
Nope, Dad and I are moving to another country too, from a different airport to my sister.
What?
Dad works at the same company as Christy's husband, and they were able to organize a transfer at the same time to the same location. And luckily for me, I was able to go with them since I just graduated high school.
Why would you purposefully leave the country at different times?
Well, there's not really any particularly deeper meaning. After graduating from technical school, Christy was living at Dad's old house with Grandma. At the same time, I was living together with Dad in New Jersey. So it just makes sense to leave from airports that are closer to us.
Huh? Wait, hold on a second. I was so surprised about what you said, so I only just remembered. But did you say that Christy's husband really already left the country?
Yep, they're already on the plane.
Then, this apartment, whose is it?
Oh, you mean the man you stole the key from and kicked out just before?
Yes, who is it?
Who knows?
What?
Are you seriously still in that apartment?
Of course. I mean, I thought this was where Christy was living.
Well, you better get out of there and apologize to the current tenant.
How embarrassing. Hold on, this is getting bad.
What is it?
The police are outside. When did they get here all of a sudden?
The current tenant obviously called them. It's a clear case of breaking and entering after all.
How can you say that so easily?
Anyway, the boarding time is getting close for me and Dad.
No way. Wait!
Goodbye. Sometime later, my dad asked his friend to look into what my mom was doing. Turns out that the man she had been living with since she left had lost his source of income, and so she left him to search for a new person she could leech off. Around that time, she heard about Christy's marriage, and that's when she tried to contact me after mixing up our names and finding my contact details. Then the entire situation with us unfolded. In the end, she was taken in by the police who were called to the apartment she had broken into. But charges were laid and she needed to pay fines and reimbursement. She doesn't have anyone close to call or to ask for help from. So it's up to her to do something on her own. If you ask me, it sounds like the first time in her entire life that she will actually have to do some work. For a woman like her who thought she deserved to be cared for and supported her entire life without giving anything back, it's the beginning of a very miserable life.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Maggie, are you there? Do you have time to talk?
Oh, good evening, Mom. What's this about?
I hear you're pregnant. Is it true?
Excuse me?
So, which is it? A boy or a girl? I'm 100% it's a boy. I'm sure of it.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not pregnant. Where do you even hear that?
Pardon me? Well, that can't be right. Do you think I would make such a thing up? I saw you the other day. You definitely had morning sickness. Don't you forget, I'm a mother too, you know.
Sorry? Morning sickness?
Yes, the other day when you came over to our house. Come on, stop evading the issue, Maggie. Boy or a girl? Easy question.
Like I said, Mother, I'm not pregnant.
Oh, don't give me that. Why are you keeping it a secret? Everyone will find out sooner or later.
This morning sickness you're talking about, that was probably when I got back from that long trip. I sort of got car sick after that long ride back.
Car sick? In this day and age?
Oh, the ride quality's good, but you know we bought that new car. That new car smell kind of made me a bit nauseous. I was also never really comfortable riding in a car for long periods of time. And you know I don't have a driver's license, and Mark always drives me to your place. And you know, riding in the passenger seat always makes me a little dizzy.
You're really trying hard to hide this, aren't you? Whatever for? And if you get car sick, there are pills for that. So, boy or a girl? No more pussyfooting around. And don't you dare tell me it's a girl. We need a boy in this family.
What am I supposed to say? I said I'm not pregnant. How else am I supposed to put it? Should I lie? And as for taking car sickness pills, there are reasons I can't take such medicine.
I see where you're going with this. I know why you're being so stubborn. It's a girl, right? Oh, I knew it.
Pardon me?
Yes, I knew it. That's why you've been hiding it. Your family, all girls, right? Ever since Mark married you, I knew it would turn out this way. All your siblings are girls. Mark should have known. You know we run a business and someday we're going to need someone to take over. And you had to go and get pregnant with a girl. I was never in favor of Mark marrying you, but he's my son and in the end it's his decision. But to be honest, I really should have pushed him harder.
Mother, are you okay?
So, I guess that means divorce.
Divorce? You're getting a bit ahead of yourself, aren't you?
Well, if you insist on having this child, this girl, well, that's what will happen. You'll just have to bring up that child on your own.
Please, Mother, stop with this nonsense. I told you I'm not pregnant.
Hey, Mom, can we talk?
Oh, hi, Mark. Good timing. You have to hear this. You won't believe what Maggie just said. She was trying so hard to hide the fact that she's pregnant with a little girl. Unbelievable. She wouldn't even admit that she was pregnant. Why hide it? We'll all find out sooner or later, right, Mark? I bet she was planning on keeping it a secret and then just having the baby without even telling us about it. You have to divorce this woman, Mark. It's for your own good.
Mom, what's wrong with you? Where did you even get the idea that she was pregnant?
I know it for a fact. Let's put that aside for now. Mark, you remember that very nice girl you used to date back in college? What was her name? Julie, Julianne, or something? What do you think about her as your next wife? She would be perfect, the type to give a nice, healthy boy. She has 4 siblings and all boys. I'm sure she'll give birth to a beautiful baby boy.
Yeah, Julianne. She got married right out of college.
Oh, really? Oh, that's too bad.
Mom? When you were texting Maggie, I was standing right next to her, observing the whole exchange.
Oh, you don't say! Well, that means Maggie's little fib about her not being pregnant is all out in the open now. Now you know, Mark. So, when are you going to process the divorce papers? That means you'll have to go down to City Hall and get the necessary forms and talk to your lawyer about how to proceed next.
I'm telling you, Mom, Maggie is not pregnant. She's not lying about that.
Pardon me?
We have plans and decided to put off having kids for a while. And about her getting car sick, that's all true too.
So, why was she suddenly feeling sick? I can't believe she gets that unwell just by sitting in a car.
Well, it's not only the car, I suppose. It's hay fever season too, so this time of year she's not really in the best of condition. So she takes various hay fever medicine.
Hay fever.
So she can't mix car sickness pills with what she's already taking. Which also brings us to the subject about her being pregnant. You obviously know that she can't take medicine while she's pregnant, right?
Yes, well, that's common sense, I suppose.
So we figured we'd start thinking about kids after the hay fever season. You know, when she's not taking any medicine. Actually, we talked about this earlier.
Okay, I see. That's what's going on, huh? Well, in that case, let's just forget the whole thing. You know what I said and all.
Excuse me, that's it? After what you said, just forget it?
Well, it's all Maggie's fault. She made it seem like she was pregnant, and her attitude. It was like she was hiding something. So, I thought, would you please talk to her and have her explain this whole mess to me? She's always so unclear about things. I just don't know what she's thinking.
Oh boy, you never seem to learn, Mom. You carry on like this and you're gonna get into real trouble one of these days.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You really think I don't know anything about what you did to Maggie all these years?
Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know you call her and get her to come over and do all the cleaning and cooking. Then sometimes you'd come over to our place without any advance notice and sit around for hours. And this is all during business hours.
Oh, well, yes, and I was just...
Come on, Mom, our family runs a business. You're an employee too, so please, Mom, do some work instead of loafing off and bothering Maggie every day.
I was only... and it's not every day. Anyway, I work.
Oh yeah? Now that it's all remote work, no one's around, so you just let Maggie do all the work. I heard you came over to our place with your laptop and had Maggie do all the company spreadsheets. Is that true?
Well, you know, she's a housewife. She's got nothing else to do.
Maggie doesn't work at a company, but she works from home, like you, Mom. Now she has twice the work. As a matter of fact, what you did was release confidential company information by letting Maggie do the work. You do realize that, don't you?
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Luckily for you, she didn't touch your laptop because she knew it was confidential, and as a non-employee, she had no right to look at it. But you went ahead and berated her for not doing the work for you.
But it wasn't very difficult work. You know, calculations and all easy stuff.
It's not about whether it's easy or difficult. This is confidential corporate information. Dad's the CEO of this company. You're an employee of that company. What the hell are you doing allowing a non-employee to look at confidential files?
Oh, but I was only...
Don't give me that, but I was only crap, Mom. You know what? I can no longer let Maggie anywhere near you. And considering Dad's company, I just can't let the situation remain the way it is. What's more, I'm concerned for Maggie. I mean, think about it. What if she did give birth to a daughter? I don't know what the hell you would do. So we plan to move away.
Excuse me? What about work?
A friend from my college days started a company and he asked me to join him. So I intend to quit Dad's company and go there.
What? Are you serious? You can't do that. You're slated to take over Dad's business after he retires. You can't just abandon that.
That hasn't been decided yet.
Oh, but you can't.
Sorry, but I've already made up my mind. We've already decided.
Hello, Maggie. It's been a long time.
Mom? Is it really you?
Oh, great, you haven't blocked me. Good for you. Okay, let's get down to business.
The reason I didn't block you is because I wanted to keep the line open. We weren't sure what you'd do next. With that said, I have no intention continuing this conversation. Goodbye.
Are you sure about that? Even if I told you I found out where you and Mark moved to? That I have your address?
Pardon me?
A friend of mine was on vacation and she happened to spot you. She said you were pregnant. She followed you and found out exactly where you live. She sent me the address just the other day.
You can't be serious. You had me followed?
I really had a difficult time after you guys moved away. Did you know that we got divorced? He insisted he could no longer live with me after what you and Mark told him. Needless to say, I was fired from the company. I had no other choice but to move in with my brother's family. But as you can imagine, it's not very comfortable. I mean, emotionally.
Is that so? But all that has nothing to do with me.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Maggie. You have everything to do with my predicament. I understand that the baby will be a boy. He'll come into this world next month, isn't that right?
Are you serious? Where did you hear that?
I told you my friend followed you. She also heard you talking to your friends at the supermarket. Oh, you never know who's listening. She heard you say that it's a boy and that you were expecting next month.
So this friend of yours, she was eavesdropping?
Well, yes, I suppose she was. But anyway, I'll do you a favor. I'm willing to live with you until the child is born, and maybe after that too. You know, you'll need all the help you can get.
No way. That's never going to happen.
Okay, just until the baby is born then. I'll leave after he's born. What do you say? But I'll take the baby with me. I demand you hand over my grandson after he's born.
Were you institutionalized the past 3 years? That's complete crazy talk.
Maggie, you don't seem to understand. Do you realize how difficult it's been the last 3 years? You guys simply disappearing, the divorce. If I appear in front of my husband with our grandson, I'm sure he will be overjoyed. He'll accept me back, I'm sure of it. So, he's my grandson, I'm taking him. If you have any compassion for what I went through all these years, you would hand over the child without question. It is your duty to obey your mother-in-law.
What are you talking about? Obey my mother-in-law? Are you out of your mind? We cut ties with you 3 years ago. We can't consider you our family. So why would we hand over our child to a stranger?
Excuse me, a stranger?
Hello, Mother. After 3 long years, you haven't changed a bit, I see.
Oh my god, is that you, Mark? Oh, I didn't expect to get a line from you.
I was watching the back and forth you were having a second ago.
How about work?
I work from home now. I have a little office set up. About you finding out where we live, this apartment complex is pretty secure. You won't get past the front entrance. There are several security personnel around too. They'll just turn you back, so I wouldn't even try.
Well, I'll just tell them I'm your mother. They'll let me in, no problem.
Actually, I told the landlord all about you. Security would be on the lookout for you. I even gave him a picture of you. As a matter of fact, after that text message earlier, I called security and reminded them to be on the lookout for you. And under no circumstances to let you in.
What? You're not serious? I'm your mother, for God's sake!
I told him if you gave them trouble to just call the police.
Pardon, the police? How could you do that to your own mother?
After how you treated your own son's wife? I can't believe what I'm hearing!
Oh, forget all that. Just hand over my grandson. I'll be over next month to pick him up. That child is going to be the next president of your father's company, and he's my ticket to getting back with your father.
It just hit me. I didn't realize you didn't know. The company, our cousin Rachel, was named the CEO a year ago. I'm surprised you didn't know.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I think it was April of last year.
You mean Rachel? She ran the sales department when I was there. That Rachel?
I guess she was your niece too, right?
Rachel? Oh, you're kidding me, right? She's the new CEO?
Yeah, and she's super smart. I knew she would succeed. But to be honest, I didn't expect her to become CEO. She had Dad's trust ever since she joined the company. She worked her butt off all those years. She deserved it. She's way smarter than me. So I didn't have any qualms about quitting when I did.
Oh, but Rachel? She's a woman. And she's the CEO? Oh, that cannot be right.
In this day and age, it's not that unusual for a woman to be a CEO. I mean, you work there too. I can't believe you're still so old-fashioned.
But how could... I mean, she's...
So that's what's up. Suggest you abandon any notion of this ludicrous scheme of yours.
It is not a ludicrous scheme, as you put it. If I take my grandson to your father's place, I can convince him to... I could even act as a go-between for you and your father. If I do that, well, I could get back with your father.
Why would I want you to act as go-between between me and Dad? We get along just fine. Maggie and I cut ties with you and you alone. Dad has nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, we had dinner at his place the other night.
Excuse me?
You know what, Mom? I'm pretty busy now. Could we call it a day?
No, wait. Let's talk about this.
No, Mom, there's nothing more to talk about. See you around. Please don't contact us again.
Well, it seems the only person obsessed with having a grandson was my mother-in-law. I think it was her obsession that caused her to lose sight of what was most important, which was her family. But she never learned and still continues with her obsession, feeling not a modicum of remorse for her outrageous behavior. After that line message, she apparently made her way to the apartment complex and hung around for a while. No, she was not able to get in, luckily. I think the security finally called the police and she sulked away after that. Having nowhere to turn, she ended up trying to get back together with my father-in-law, but he wouldn't have any of it. Apparently, my father-in-law had already met a nice widower while walking his dog and is currently dating her. I hear they may even get married. When my mother-in-law heard that, she went a little nuts, screaming and having a total meltdown. The cops eventually came and took her away. I heard even her brother has even cut ties with her. I don't know what happened to her after that.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.